in me. Okay. Hello, everybody. Started off, my name is Alyssa. I've been with Monate since November, but I've been in network marketing since 2018. It was just my 4-year anniversary on June 8th, which is so wild. So I just say that so you understand, like, been around the block trying to figure out scheduling and time management. And I've done a lot of things to figure out a system that works for me. So I can share with you my tips and tricks that I've learned, and hopefully you can apply, because if you don't have a schedule for your business and you're not managing your time, you are going to float off into the wayside and you're going to be overwhelmed. And it's just, you just need to figure out like when you're going to work your business and schedule it in around your life, which is what we love about this business, right? Because you can schedule it around your already busy lifestyle, and you don't have to schedule your life around the business, which is, you know, the whole goal is to have that be 100% of the time. If you're still working a job, eventually, maybe you don't want to quit your job, but if you do, like, eventually you can, if you are consistent and schedule your time now around what you have going on, and then eventually will free up time in the future. So you have to figure out how you're spending your time. So I'm going to give you guys a call to action at the end of this call to kind of audit your time for the next 72 hours until our call on Saturday. And we're going to talk about it on the call on Saturday morning. So actually do it. And then it'll just like give you a lot of good insight on what you're doing with your time and how you can, you know, adjust things, especially if you have kids or a full-time job right now, or both. Like when I first started network marketing, my son was 1 year old. I was working like 9 to 5, but it was like 8 to 6 because of commuting and all that kind of stuff. And my man actually lived in Colorado at the time. So it was just me by myself. And I still managed to stay consistent. And I was able to leave the 9 to 5 life within 2 years. So because I just made some sacrifices up front in the beginning and stuck it out, and now I get to do whatever I want on my days, which is amazing. Okay. And so maybe you've heard the term, you know, you have to treat your business like a business. A lot of people treat it like a hobby. And anybody know, like, if you have hobbies, how well do they pay you? A lot of the time they don't pay you, you pay into them, right? So a lot of the time people treat the business like a hobby and they just get to it when they can. They're not really intentional with the time that they're spending. They're not really consistent every single day. I remember when I first started, I don't remember who I heard say this, but it was somebody in my old company that was a millionaire, like top 10 income earner. And she literally just said, like, work your business at least an hour a day and you're going to be fine. So I did that. Like, I took that shit to heart. And that's what I did. And of course, I'll take off like 1 day a week. But I mean, even then, like 1 hour a day, you're on your phone anyway, like doing some of the really easy things I'll even do on my day off, which is I usually take off like Saturday night to Sunday. But even then, I'll still like engage with people, comment on posts, like reply to stories, post to my story. But it's not like super duper like intentional income producing activities, but I still show up in some type of way every single day for my business. So that being said, like, treat it like a business, not like a hobby, but also there's a lot of people that come into this and treat it like a business. Like, people treat it like it's a business that's already paying you $50K a month, which when you get to that point, obviously you can take off time and your business is going to work for you and you're still going to get paid, but that's going to take, you know, years of work, consistent work of treating it like a job. So I took this idea, or kind of like a lot of this verbiage, from a podcast that I listened to with Jesse Lee. So basically, you need to treat your business like a job. Like, if I were your boss and I told you you had to show up for Power Hour every Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. for 1 hour, would you do it to get paid? Yes, you would. If I told you you had to have a reel posted at 11 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday, would you have it posted because that's how you get paid at your job? If your boss told you you had to do it, yes, probably yes. Or you get fired, right? If I told you you had to go live every single Friday by noon, would you be preparing for that and, you know, figuring out what you want to say, taking notes, doing the research of whatever you want to go live about, so you could go live on Friday at noon, because that's your job. That's what you're getting paid for, right? You would do it if I was your boss and you were like, under my hammer down hand. I don't even know. I was trying to come up with a saying. But so my point is, like, all these things that you will get paid for in this business, posting reels, doing power hours, going live, like doing the follow-ups, reaching out to new people. Nobody's telling you to do them, but you will get paid for them if you're consistent. So you should act like somebody is making you do it. And that person that's making you do it is yourself, right? You have to be your own boss and schedule your time in on when you're going to do these things. because like even back to that point, like if I were your boss and I'm like, okay, show me your work, show me your follow-up, show me the people that you reach out to today. What's your plan for your content this week? And you had to show your work to me, like, and then you're like, I don't have anything. Like, okay, you're fired. But no, you can't get fired in this business. So just treat yourself like your own boss. Ask yourself, like, what do I need to get done this week? How am I going to show up for my own business and be my own boss and respect my own time? Because moral of the story is if you're not doing those things for yourself, you're just, it's just not good for you and your goals, right? So just to back it up, when I was working 8 to 6-ish and I had a 1-year-old, I would get up at 5 a.m., you guys, and not by choice or not that it was fun, but I knew that I had to get an hour of work in from 5 to 6 in the morning before I started getting ready for work, before my son got up, before I had to, was working for the next 8 hours. And from 5 to 6, I got so much work done. And that is what allowed me at that time, that schedule, that was like my main work time. Monday through Friday was 5 to 6 a.m. And I didn't even have a morning routine at that time. I didn't like do much. I did a lot of mindset calls, like listening in my drive and after work and stuff, but I didn't use my mornings for me time like I do now. Back then, it was just 5 to 6, like solid work hours. So if you're somebody that works and you're like, I'm not a morning person, it could be worth it because obviously down the road, that's not always going to be your schedule. And if you do work 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 right now, and you eventually want to quit your job, maybe making that sacrifice to get up at earlier than you do right now to put in that work, it's eventually going to let you leave your job. And then your morning is going to look a lot different, like you're going to be able to wake up with ease and have your tea and look on the deck, look at the sun coming up and just enjoy yourself. Like I love that. I get to do that now because I made a sacrifice in the past, right? So just know that like I'm going to have you guys I have my schedule. I schedule out my weeks every Saturday. I'm going to show you guys what I do. And you're going to implement some of this stuff. If you don't have a planner, you can even just use a piece of paper and write out I just want you guys to do from like, what's that, Wednesday, like until Saturday, the next 3 days, just to like audit your time and see what you're doing and schedule in your business time around your work schedule. So, what do I have notes over here? So you have to make a list of what you have to do every day, right? And I always plan my days the night before. There's a Jim Rohn quote. If you know Jim Rohn, he's one of my favorite people to learn from ever. He is a really great salesperson. He's passed away, I think, a couple of years ago, but he has a ton of YouTubes. If you like, he was not in network marketing, but I know he was like a guest speaker for a lot of different network marketing companies. So his YouTubes are gold. Like he is such a great sales mindset. But he always said, there's this quote that I love from him that said, when do you build a house? After it's finished. Because when you're going to build a house, you have a house plan, you have the sketch on the paper, you know how the layout's going to be, all this stuff, right? And then you build the house. So when should you start your day? After it's finished. Plan your day out the night before so then you can plan ahead and you're not scrambling around and you like flying by the seat of your pants, you don't know what you're doing. And then before you know it, it's the end of the day and you haven't done anything for your business. So I always take my planner for every day and then I go into my planner app that I have, like a day planner on my phone, which I'll show you guys. And I put what I have in my like physical planner into my daily planner because it's very helpful. This planning app that I have, it's called Structured. And I really like it because I was finding that I just get into the hole of freaking mindlessly scrolling and doing bullshit and not doing anything for my business, right? Like if you can relate to that, drop a 1 because I feel like we all are there. And this app that I have, Structured, it gives you notifications for when you want to, like you plan your day out the night before, it gives you notifications for each time that you want to start certain things. And then it pops up when you're on your phone, you're like, oh shit, there's my notification. I have to get to my business stuff. I have to stop looking on Instagram at these things that don't matter, right? So that app is really great. It's $5 one time for a lifetime access to get the notifications. I think you have to pay the $5 to get the notifications. And that's the one thing that I really like about it. There is a free trial, but like and plus tax write-off, okay? Any app you get, if you didn't know that, is a tax write-off for business. So when you are, planning your day, make sure you write down your priorities. Ask yourself, is it important? Is it not important? Is it urgent and important? Then you do that right away. If it's urgent and important, do it right away. If it's important but not urgent, you can do it later. If it's not important but it's urgent, maybe you can delegate. Like, are you married? Do you have a roommate? Maybe you can ask them to do it. Like I asked my man to do which he didn't do, which makes me so mad. I asked him to do but just like I asked him to do the laundry today and like do some dishes and stuff. And the day's not over. I can't like get down his back too much, but just like stuff around the house that you want to get done, like ask your partner to do it, ask someone else around you to do it. And learn how to say no to people. Like if you have your game plan in your planner and you have specific work times and somebody asks you to do something, you're like, no, I have to work. Just like if you had to go to your 9 to 5, or you had to go to, if you're a waitress and you have to go to the restaurant, or if you have class, like with all those other things, you would say, no, I have to do this thing. Well, do that same thing for your business here. If you schedule it in, make that a structured time for you to do your business and make it concrete with people, because when you take your business seriously like that, other people around you are going to start taking it more seriously too. But if you're just like, somebody asks you to go to coffee or to go out or whatever, and then you're just like, oh, I can do my business later. Like they're like, oh, she's not really that serious about it. So it's fine. But if you're like, no, I'm doing this, like these are my goals, I'm doing this shit. And you actually like have those boundaries with people, they're going to be like, oh shit, like she's really doing this thing. And then even at like, if you do that, people at the beginning who don't really support you, but they see you taking it seriously, and then your business is going to start growing because you are taking it seriously. All those people that doubt you at the beginning will come around and like buy from you or join your business because they're going to see your success. Like having that structured schedule and being serious about it is going to show the people around you what you can really do with it. So highly important. So yes, a lot of the time too, like me, I do this to this day, but doing easy stuff right away. Like if you do easy stuff first, drop a 2 in the chat. We have to stop doing that and do the hard stuff first. Like reaching out to people about the business, the follow-ups, reaching out to people about the products. Those 3 are like the scariest, I would say. So get those things done right away in the morning. And they don't really take that long, you guys. If you're doing 5 of those a day, like what's 5 new market partner conversations times 30? That's 150 new conversations, 150 new people you're talking to every day if you just do 5 a day. And that will take you, I've timed it, it takes me like 10 minutes. So we can all do that every single day, planting these new seeds. So just keep that in mind. Just do the hard stuff first. And once you get it out of your system, you're going to feel so amazing, like on top of the world, like, wow, I'm killing my business, you know? So just let's try to switch that around. Stop doing the easy stuff first, because you can always comment on posts. You can add new friends. You can reply to people's stories, all that shit you can do kind of mindlessly, right? Like it's that you don't have to put too much thought in it. So just do the hard stuff first, and then your day is going to feel like a breeze. And then another thing, multitasking doesn't exist. Like you can task switch at best. There's some study on like multitasking, and it's obviously your productivity for everything you're trying to do at once goes way down. Whereas if you just focus on one thing and get that one thing done, then you can move it on to the next, and you're actually putting your all into the one thing instead of trying to do like 50 things at once, and you're scattered all over the place, and then you forget to do one specific thing you were supposed to do. And yeah. So multitasking doesn't exist. Focus on one thing at a time. Like great example. I mean, it's so funny to me. And I was just saying this to my team earlier, like when you're on Zoom and you think you can like write a caption up or do follow-ups and you're trying to pay attention. And then at the end of the Zoom, you're like, oh, what, if I ask you, like, what did you learn? And you're like, I was trying to write a caption. Like, yeah, you weren't really paying attention, were you? Like just be on Zoom, or like, even if you're trying to listen to audiobooks or podcasts, or whatever, and you're trying to like listen at the same time as you're trying to do housework, like you're not really fully absorbing the information. So I love listening to podcasts and audiobooks like while I'm driving, because I don't really have distractions, because I just have it loud as shit in my car, and I like actually absorb it that way, and I can't really do much else. But yeah, so that's when I really love, or even in the shower, because it's not like you're like running around with your head cut off. You're just showering, like doing your normal routine, so you can actually absorb the things that you're hearing. So those 2 places are where I really like to listen to audiobooks. But like Nano, people are talking about Nano in the chat. Yeah, for his morning calls, like I don't do anything else. I have an actual like mindset notebook with all the things I learned from all the people I listen to, and I actually take notes and like sit and listen to him. I don't try to do a million other things at once, because his stuff is so fire that I want to absorb it and apply it to my business. So yeah, when you're on Zoom, be on Zoom so you can actually fully absorb what you're learning. And okay, speaking of Nano, I wanted to say too, so yesterday he was talking about 5 keys to be successful, and they are tests. So you're testing stuff. So for your schedule that you're going to make right now, you're going to test it, and then it might fail. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had to rework my schedule, even in the past couple months, but you test it out, see how it works. If it fails you, maybe you're still like kind of feeling overwhelmed or whatever, then you just adjust it, right? And then you reapply, like learn from what you did and then reapply. So test, fail, learn. I forget what the fourth one is, but then reapply. So those things, and that can even apply to like the messages you're sending, your content. Like he has it on his YouTube. I can link it to the chat later, but that was a really good episode on like the 5 keys you need, especially testing and like learning how to fail and then learning from your failure. It's just part of the process. So all that being said, we're going to plan. So do you guys have your planners out? I mean, drop what are we on? 3? Drop a 3 if you already have your week planned out through Saturday. Anybody? Or am I not seeing the chat? Okay. Test, fail, learn, improve, re-enter. Yeah, that's what the 5 things were. Thanks, Kirsten, sorry. Not that organized. Okay, we're going to do it right now. So get your damn planners out. And I'll tell you what the first thing I do. And if you don't have a planner, like get a piece of paper and just write the like Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the top. And I don't know if you can just write like, what time do you wake up? So for me, I actually am working with a business coach, and I, with her, implemented what my ideal day is. So I want to wake up every day. Like my ideal higher self wakes up at 4:44 a.m. every day. And then I meditate from 5 to 5:15. And then I talk to God for 5 minutes. And then I journal and do my affirmations. And then I read. And that takes me to like 6:15, 6 o'clock. And then I have an hour of leisure, like getting ready, getting cute time, which I did not do today. And just like having that easeful morning and easing into my morning. And then Nano starts at 8 a.m. And then I want to work from 9 to noon, which I'm doing because I like switch network marketing companies. I actually have another side hustle right now that's helping me pay my bills until I build this up. The cool thing though, is my old company is still paying me, even though I'm not working for them. Like, what kind of job can you have where you leave 6 months ago and they're still paying you? It's dwindling, of course, but residual income, you guys. So that's what you want to do here. So just plan your day. So what I start with is I do personal shopping, and I try to do that 30 hours a week. So if you can see, these are the times that I do my personal shopping, right? So I just have those times blocked out because I can't really be on my phone because I have to drive and use my GPS and like look at the shopping app and stuff. But so those times are blocked out. So whatever, if you have an 8 to 5, or you have like specific things you have to do every week that you know are solid and they're always going to be there. Like, if you have different, I don't even know, if you have classes or whatever, put those into your schedule like right now. Just do it. I'll give you 5 minutes. I'm going to play a tune. Actually, I'll look at the chat to see. I'll give you like 2 minutes because that shouldn't take too long, actually. And after you get your like the list, like the 5, what list? The 5 successful people thing, or the 5.
What what are we writing down again? I didn't catch it.
Oh, so tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, just write out like every day what do you have to do for sure during those days? Like, do you have to go to work? What kind of stuff do you have to do? And then around that, can you see this? So I'm building an Etsy store. So I have Etsy in here every single day for like 2 hours, 1 hour. And then you'll see I have a power hour every single day, and I schedule it in. So like those are my 2 businesses that I'm working outside of my personal shopping. So I schedule that shit in, and then I have a birthday party on Saturday. I have a dinner on Friday. So when are those little hours of time you can get in? At least 1 hour a day. So 7 hours a week, like you can do anything for 7 hours a week, can't you? You do your business. And then I always tell people you should work your business like any part-time job, 10 to 20 hours a week. So if you're like really short on time and you can only do 10, I would say 10 minimum. I mean, some people say you can do this industry in 5 hours a week, but I'm like, no, it's going to be like 10, because if you have 7 hours, 1 hour a day of income producing activities, let's say you want to take a day off, just put that extra hour somewhere else in your week. But you also want to create content. So you can create content in like 2 hours. Like if you're saving your reel ideas, saving your caption ideas, and then you're shooting the content, like you can get all that. You can get a week of content done in 2 hours, you guys, if you batch your content and actually like save your ideas and get that stuff together. I'm going to do a whole call on that so you can learn to do that, because it makes it way less stressful to actually you know, because once you have your content planned and you have it all recorded, then you can just post the shit up. And it's not like you have to come up with an idea and write the caption and shoot the whole thing. And like that just takes away from your productivity. Just get it all done at once, right? We're going to talk about that in the future. But so 1 hour a day. And then when are you going to plan your content? You want to write that down. Like you have to have a content matching day, because if you don't, I mean, maybe if it works for you to just do it flying by the seat of your pants, then great. But I know a lot of the time content's one thing that really stresses people out. So putting aside like 2 hours on the weekend, like Saturday afternoon, Sunday night, whenever it can be, Friday night, like whatever you have an open section of time in your schedule, put that in there. And then, like I said, if somebody's like, can you go out on this night, and you have your content batching scheduled, then be like, no, I can after this time, but I have shit to do before that. And just be very serious with people like, no, I have shit to do. I have to work. If you just say I have to work, like, what are they going to say? Work on what? Like my goals and my dreams. Okay. So make sure you just like are very stern about that, because, and like I said, get your family in on it too, or your partners or your parents, like any family, if you hang out with family a lot, like let them know what you're doing and be like, this is my work schedule for my business. Like I can't do anything during these times, and watch how seriously they start to take you. That ass. Okay, what else do I have that? And make sure you put time limits. We're going to do a power hour after this. So if you want to stay on, I'm going to kind of walk through an entire power hour with all the income producing activities that we do. And like, you're going to be surprised by how much you can actually get done in 1 hour with all the things that we're supposed to be doing. Like you, especially outside of content planning, like that's probably the most time consuming thing. But like I said, if you have it batched and ready, just post it up in the power hour and you're good to go. You're consistent every day, right? And make sure you eliminate distractions. Like one thing, I don't have notifications on for any of my inboxes. I check them when I check them. I don't have shit dinging or dropping down or any of that shit. I just have it off, because otherwise it's distracting. Like I'm working when I'm working. I'm working on my other business when I have time for that. And so, and it's different if you're in the app, you can see like the red flags and stuff, but I don't have a shit dinging. I don't get rid of those distractions. If you're like not working, you're not working. You did it. Yeah. It's so fire. And so, okay. How are we doing? Is everyone good to go on that? Putting in your, like scheduling your power hour and your work time? Drop a 0 if you got it.
I have a real quick question though.
Yes.
So for like writing down the things that you do during the week, and then you sent like, make sure you write down content, kind of on the topic of muting out all your notifications, like use, like I check it when I check it. So do you actually have it like picked out when you check it? Is that something to also write down? Because I was trying that for a little while and it seemed good. I don't know how I fell off, but I want to figure that out. You know what I mean?
I don't really have like a specific time, but anytime I'm like sitting down to actually do my Nate stuff, then obviously I'm checking all my stuff. And I actually have in my habit tracker, like catch up on inbox from the day before. So if there's anyone I hadn't replied to, I'll catch up with them like during my power hours.
Okay.
And then of course, if you're sending new messages and you like start a conversation with a VIP or a market partner, like obviously you're going to continue that conversation as long as it has to go when you start it, you know, and you're not like, oh, my money stuff done, I'm going to leave this potential hanging, because then you don't look serious to them either. Like with potentials that you're having conversations with, like continue those like as much as you can. And if you have to leave to do something, you have an event or a family, something or other, just be like, I actually have to go do this XYZ. I'll follow up with you tomorrow at XYZ time or whatever. So that little tidbit too. So, okay, once you have your schedule ready, and I just want you guys to test this so you can actually see like what you're doing in your time. But so if you didn't do my homework from last Wednesday, I had you guys, you know, write down what you want your business to look like in a year. Who do you have to be to like, who do you have to show up as to actually achieve that goal? What are the, like, what do you have to do to reach that, which is, you know, being consistent, yada, yada. And so by having that vision of what you want and who you have to be, and then that's going to help you like stick to your schedule, right? Because if you actually have a why and a reason and a goal for wanting to do this, then you're actually going to stick to your schedule. But if you don't know why, you don't know what you want, you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to show up for what you want because you don't even know, right? So make sure that you figure that out. And that's going to be your main, your anchor for getting you through and keeping you consistent and sticking to your schedule and taking it seriously and all that stuff too. And then I just want to show you guys, I'm going to screen share. If you don't have the structured app, I just want to show you how it works. It's super duper helpful. Like I love my, this thing, but I'm not carrying this with me all the freaking time. And so it's just nice having the app on your phone because I always have my phone, right? So I'm just going to screen share really quickly to show. Oh, I have to make myself. I think, Crystal, do you have, you got an iPhone, didn't you? Now, because I knew you had an Android. Someone just asked if Structured is on Android. I feel like it is. Okay, I have to make my phone the host. I was looking for my name. I had to look for Jess. I got Jess's login because I don't pay for Zoom and I didn't want to get cut off. Okay, here we go. Screen sharing. It's really fire. I really love it. Oh, so this is what it looks like. I have this big widget right here. And you can see I have the Zoom in there. It's like, and it tells you exactly like there's 2 minutes left of the Zoom. And then I have like hang out with my son, but you just click it open. And this was my whole day today. So I had my whole morning routine in there and I check it off. I didn't check these ones off. I did those. And I have like a specific amount of time that it's going to take me to get ready, 45 minutes. So I have to hurry because if I don't have like a time limit for myself to get ready, I will literally lollygag and start scrolling and listen to some music, like fold some clothes. So just having that structured amount of time and then I can see it and it ticks down in your app, just like you can see with the Zoom right now. It tells you how much time you have left. And it just is super helpful. And then I planned this call this morning at 7 a.m. Like I got all my notes together, re-listened to this podcast. So it just helps you with getting this shit together. I actually did not end up doing Etsy, which is fine. I shifted all day today. So then we have this stuff going on right now. But so yeah, it's just so nice. And you can make things like you see it next to the times at the top of my morning routines, like all those circles, those are repeating every day. So I have them I know they're happening every single day. And I should have I'll have every time I ship should be in here. And you can go into these things and I wonder if but you can write subtasks in here too. Like if you want to put what you are going to do during this power hour, you can write that down there and it's going to be in there for you. Super amazing. And then it just, you get dropped down. I wonder if I have any from earlier. I don't know. But we'll give you drop down notifications when you're supposed to start stuff. And then you can just easily, delete things if you need to, whatever. Super fire. Love it. Highly recommend. So yeah, that is that. Yeah, definitely check it out because it's freaking amazing. And definitely just time out of yourself for the next 72 hours until our call on Saturday. So you can see how much time are you actually wasting? How much time do you really have to work your business that you're just not? And really stick to your schedule. And then Saturday, I'm going to ask how did it go? How did it go? So let me know. What else do I have? I think that was everything. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you for being here.